talking about Firewood today. My name is Ron Kuris. Obviously, you just heard I work for Ava Labs. I'm the storage engineer person, so I mostly do work about storage. So everything storage related ends up going to me or through me or something around that. My background is I've worked on relational key value stores. I worked at several different FANG companies. I've been an engineer for my entire life. And I've worked on a lot of cryptographic solutions. I am the author of SOX 5, for those of you that know what that is. That is a networking protocol that traverses networks. So I've been working on networking for a long time. I've worked in C, C++, Perl, Python, PHP, Golang, and many other dead languages, too many to list here. So I'm pretty well versed in different approaches. My latest fantasy is about Rust, and kind of pushing the company to do more and more Rust to help perform things a little bit better, and a little bit of Golang too, which scares me a lot, but I still do it sometimes as well. So I recently gained a lot of interest a couple of years ago in the problems that blockchain solves. So when I first looked at blockchains, I thought, oh, it's a gaming platform. It's a place to put meme coins. And then I realized that, hey, no, it's not really about that. It's about a distributed ledger. And I worked closely with the Cassandra team on consensus and things like that, and realized that this problem is actually solved in a really elegant way. And so I got a lot of interest. Distributed ledgers, guaranteed integrity. The costs can be a lot lower than a traditional data store if it's implemented correctly. And it can have high throughput, or does it? And there haven't really been a lot of people innovating in this area on trying to make blockchains faster. And that's what when I looked at Ava Labs, they said, hey, we've got this idea. Why don't you take a look at it? And I looked at it and I'm like, that's a pretty cool idea. And the idea was called Firewood. And there's two main areas that were kind of talked about that slow down the execution of blocks. And the first one is storage and persisted Merkleization, and the second is parallelism. And there'll be another talk about parallelism. You heard I think it's tomorrow. We'll get parallel block execution to happen, but the focus today, and my focus, is primarily on storage and trying to make storage more efficient and faster. Then there's other ideas that we're working on to try to make things even faster. The goal is to speed up our entire C chain initially, and that will, of course, roll over into the other chains as well. Most solutions, as mentioned, have a traditional key value database, so there's some back-end database that's being used. It's a traditional database system. It does not have any specialization in how blocks are actually executed and stored. This database is completely different. It is engineered to address these problems that happen when you try to plug in a key value store into a back end of a Merkleized store. One is you have two storages. One is the Merkleization representation, and the other is what's the data actually contain. Trying to keep those in sync is a pain. And deleting old data is a big problem. A lot of key value stores, you may have heard of these things called tombstones. Trying to delete old data, because data changes very quickly. We don't want that data to be constantly being rewritten. And this thing called write amplification is another big problem with a lot of these key value stores using what they call LSM, which is log structured merge. Log structured merge ends up creating a lot of duplication of writes. And what we care a lot about here is how many writes do we have to do every time somebody updates an account. If I draw $10 out of 10 whatever coin out of whatever account, there's a write that has to happen. I only want to do that write once. I don't want to do that write over and over again to say, yeah, they still have this amount through this thing called compaction. The log structured merge, the last step is merge. That merge is very expensive. And Firewood addresses all these problems. So I asked ChatGPT, I said, hey, ChatGPT, give me an image of all these three things. And it came up with this. And I'm like, what? So the first thing was, well, okay, I've got to do the interpretation of it in order to make this work. So the top part here is the Ava Cloud, right? That's clearly the Ava Cloud. The stuff right in here, that's the core wallet, right? Down over here, this section right here is basically, the Avalanche Go, the consensus protocols, all those things that are kind of really wide and kind of nebulous. But down here we have the data store, right, which has got some Firewood, and we're pretty much going to set it on fire with this new database. So that's the concept behind it. So what is Firewood? So let's talk about exactly what it is. It is an embedded key value store. It is a way of storing keys and values in some file somewhere. It is optimized to store recent Merkleized blockchain data. So this is another big difference between all of these other stores. They are optimized for long-term storage. We are not optimized for long-term storage. We are optimized for storing current state. There's a huge difference there. It is implemented from the ground up to directly store the tri-E nodes on disk in the structure that they are designed to be in. This is a huge difference. It directly uses those tree structures on disk, and there's no emulation logic. There's no like, oh, I've got to have this separate tri-E over here that references things over here. There's none of that. We've eliminated all of that completely. What happened when we implemented this? Well, the first implementation was really terrible. It was done by a research person that didn't actually know how to write any Rust. They implemented this thing. It was a real mess. It took us a long time to realize that we can't actually use that code. So if you've heard of Firewood maybe a year ago, you're like, this thing's been on the back burner for a while, so to speak. What happened was we realized that we'll never be able to get that code base to work, and we ended up rewriting it. So we started that project late last year, and now it's in a place where we've got some really impressive results, and the design is amazing and good. The execution was questionable. Now it's in good shape. The iteration is very fast. Block inserts and hash calculations are extremely fast. There is no compaction required. It self-cleans itself up, which is amazing. Data is automatically deleted and space is reused through this architecture. And it's very fast for EVM, and it works well for also generic key-valued data. So it doesn't have to be EVM-based, so it'll work great for L1s as well. Our initial focus is going to be to try to get it into the C chain. Once it's in the C chain, we'll work on rolling it out to other data stores. Well, how fast is it? So what did we do? We just loaded up a big database. We said, well, let's try 10 million rows first. And we checked to see how long it takes to load 10 million rows. The time was really short, but then we said, well, let's go to 50 million rows. And we just loaded it up using Geth, right? And it took us on the machine that we ran it on, like 40 minutes or something like that. Then we plugged in Firewood, and it took better than half. We were able to process those blocks and store that data in less than half the amount of time. And the same thing applied for like 100 million rows. And you notice the scale kept getting bigger. So what this means is that as the database grows and gets bigger and bigger, we actually get better and better performance as things grow to be a larger store. And I think this is going to be critical for us to have a really fast single-chain performance. Here are some other numbers. We ran this benchmark. What we did is we loaded up the database to a state of about 50 million blocks. And then we said, OK, how long does it take us to load another couple million blocks? And for Firewood, it took about 2 hours. For Geth, it took about 4 hours and 5 minutes. And then we were like, well, we want to know what percentage of time it's spent doing various things. How much do we block on the database? And for Firewood, it was only about 30%. And for Geth, it was only 27%. That sounds better, right? Well, not exactly. Remember, it's 30% of 2 hours versus 27% of 4 hours and 5 minutes. Which would you prefer? I think I'll take the 30% of 2 hours. It's a much better number. And what percentage of the time was spent Merkleizing the data? Again, it's 7%. It sounds worse, but it's half the amount. So it's really like 3.5 if you want to look at it that way versus 8.7. So all of these numbers ended up coming out so much better than the original design was expected to improve. So these gains are going to be very obvious once this database is installed into the C chain. We're going to see some really significant improvements in performance. What will this performance do? It will have a lot of interesting effects. One effect it will have is it won't require as heavy duty of a node. So we may be able to revisit potentially how big of a node do you have to have in order to be a validator. It may reduce the load there. We may be able to reduce the amount of time for finality. We don't know what the effects are going to be here. These are things that we're going to figure out once we have it fully integrated into the EVM. And even CPU utilization was less. It's about half the amount of CPU to process those blocks. It was really kind of interesting, a lot of interesting stuff. That's all I've got. I don't know if I did well on time or not, but I have time for a question or two, hopefully.
Yeah, let's give it one question or two.
Hi, did you do the comparison with Pebble?
I'm sorry?
The comparison with Pebble, the data store used.
We have not yet, but it is planned. We'll be doing that.
And I think there's another one over here.
Hey, thank you so much for this. I'm curious, have you been paying attention to like what CUDA is doing or what NVIDIA is doing with CUDA, and how could this potentially integrate with the convergence of AI and blockchain?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm not 100% sure how it will integrate with AI. when this was started, it was kind of like it was independent of the whole AI movement, but I do see that this will definitely speed up queries and also updates, and that will obviously make some effect on how quick the AI can possibly respond. So I think it might have some performance impacts there. But I don't know what those numbers look like yet. Again, this is still really, this is new for us. We've just finished releasing the last bit of code, probably like last month, so now we're just kind of like measuring the performance of this thing. And so we don't have exact numbers and the final stuff just quite yet.